Welcome back now to the client server socket programming. First, we'll see how a client socket can be implemented using a C programming. This is our lab second programming, where you can see now how the different things will come. First, we have to know how a client, what the things client needs. So as we have discussed in earlier class that our operating system will have the protocol suite in it, the TCP/IP protocol suite will be there. So first we have to invoke that protocol suite, and then we have to connect to the other system. So that is the one thing which you must know. Always the client will first request the for a connection. Once the connection has been accepted, then what the client will do, it will send its whatever required question or data will be there. Now you see this particular C program, how the things will be there. Here the header file which you have to observe clearly is arpa/int.h. This is a one which is a very important include file which you have to take. As I told you that we have to first invoke the protocol suite. The protocol suite will be there in this arpa.net.h in a C header files. So that inet means internet work protocols will be invoked through this header file. Coming to the next thing, that is fcntl is there. This is another one very important header file which you must have. That is to use the network functionings, to use any network dependent functions or built-in functions, we need this particular header file. Remaining header files are the standard header files which we had used earlier also. Now come to the program, and you see this particular program here. In this, the main thing is we have declared the int sock and n, and characters is there, buffer is there. Assume that now this is a buffer which will client will maintain of 1024 bytes. 1024 bytes means 1 KB of a buffer will be there, and on a client side first the data will be put into the buffer, and then it will be transferred. Now fname, file name, the client has to request file name. See, according to the program, we have to, the client has to request a file name to the server, and server has to send the contents of that particular file. And another one very much important instruction will be this particular instruction. You see this particular instruction here, that is struct sock address in suck sock address underscore in, we are creating a ADDR. That means the sock address underscore in will be in a built-in structure which will be there. For that we are creating an object called as an ADDR. That means here afterwards we can use ADDR name to handle sock ADDR underscore in. That's the nature of the structure we know already. Coming to next, what is the first step in a client socket? You have to create a socket. How you can create a socket? This is a one important thing. See, sock is equal to, socket is a built-in function. As I told you that it will be there in fccntl header file. So first we are calling the socket function with an with an arguments called as pf underscore inet in capital letters. Observe, this is in capital letters. You have to call like that only. That is, we are calling a protocol suite here from arpa inet header file. And coming to here, sock string, that is we are sending a protocol suite and a sock string to a socket function where a socket will be created. What two things very important here which you should know, that is a protocol suite will be there, and a stream a stream message channel will also be there here. So that two things you have to take care while defining a socket. Coming to the next thing, you observe that once you have defined that, we should define a protocol family also. That is addr dot sin underscore family. Addr, as you know already, that addr is an object for addr means address underscore in structure. In that we are taking out the variable sin underscore family. That is what family of internet protocol suite we are using, that we have to define. Always it will be af underscore int. Next, address dot sin dot port. This is a one very much important concept or an instruction which you have to know. Now here we are handling a variable of that structure called structure sin underscore port. Now family we have defined, that is AF finite protocol suite we are using, and coming to the port, through which port you are connecting to other system. Every system will have its own port. Now that port, for example 7891 is an ordinary integer number, right? That integer number will be converted to the port number by this htons function. This htons function, usually students will miss this, and you can't assign a just integer number to the sin port. Sin port will not accept that. So sin port will accept only the port type of data. To convert that integer to a port number, we are using htons. Coming to the next address, then next variable will be sin underscore addr dot s underscore addr. Observe carefully, structure within a structure is there. In that built-in structure, the within a structure or inner structure is the address, means how the different addresses you can handle. In that addresses we are going for an s address. S means a static address. We are going with an static address. That address will be there as you know that IP address we have to give in a 4 ends the capacity of 32 bytes. That is 127.0.0.1 is an IP address of a local host. For example, if you want to run this program in a same system we are using, means both server socket will be there in this system and client socket will be there in a single system, then we are going to use this local address. If you change this address here, for example assume my server is somewhere else, it has been connected with an cat6 cable, and that server address is some 172.8.16.1. if I specify this address, if it is existing, then automatically you will connect to that particular, means your server socket should run in that 172.18. what I told 16.8.1 server. Here for our lab sake we are going with a local host address. Now see the carefully here, this is a string here, right? We are giving as a string. That string will be converted to the internet address by this inet underscore addr function. This is important here, that you have to be careful. Once you have set all these protocol suite, port number and IP address has been set, and socket is ready now, and next what you have to do, you have to connect that socket with this address. You have to connect, I repeat, you have to connect the created socket this address to that IP address what you are going to define, that is this localhost address. Now you see here I am putting in a while loop, means why while loop here, means infinite connectivity it will try. Why? Because server will be busy, so it means it will keep on connecting. Now connect is a function, this is very important. Connect is a client side function which will be there. So using this particular function we are going to connect to that particular server. Now within a connect, what are the things is needed? Observe carefully. We are sending a sock which has been created in a upper instructions, and observe that we are sending an address of the ADDR with the size of that address, means whatever a structure we have defined and whatever variables we have defined in that particular structure, that we are sending as a structure address to the connection. That means whatever a socket you created with a defined address and a port number and IP address, you are going to connect.